Earlier this month, China boosted efforts to attract foreign investment, with the country's state council unveiling 24 specific measures to increase inflows. For the British Chamber of Commerce Guangdong, which recently surveyed its members on doing business in China, the new guidelines could potentially boost investor confidence.
On a macro scale, what are British companies looking for when they come to China to do business, and what are sort of the areas where you've seen them succeed?
Firstly, I would say that from that survey, there was a lot more optimism this year than in the past. We surveyed people in the end of 2022, but then we redid it in April 23 because of the opening. Right. And 76% of British businesses felt optimistic. And where a lot of people are looking at is the Chinese consumption growth economy that the government's trying to push towards, and the scale of the market and the opportunities here. There's been a lot of opening in the e-commerce sector in China, especially with how you can deliver the goods into free trade zones and then have your goods here in China free trade zone, but then sell them into China one by one. That's something which a lot of companies in the UK don't know about, and I think it needs to be explained more clearly. This is possible. You can sell your products into China through these free trade zones.
Having first come to China in 2005 after qualifying as an accountant, Clayton took his expertise to Zhuhai, working in the sourcing industry and helping British firms navigate the Chinese market. Eventually, the firm he works for doubled down on their presence in the country, aiming to transform alongside the local market.
The depth of the supply chains in China is very, very difficult to replicate. From my research into Vietnam, Thailand, India, amongst other countries, yes, there's some sourcing to be done there, but the actual manufacturing, adding high value there, I don't think that's going to be available for quite some time.
As for other British firms, Clayton believes more clarity would go a long way in boosting confidence.
Something that does come out is this level playing field, but secondly, also the clarity in regulation. So there could be regulation which is very good for Chinese companies and British companies, but companies want it to be clear, like crystal clear about what is this and then how do I operate with it.
James Cleverly is the first UK Foreign Secretary to visit China in 5 years. Though much of his trip is assumed to aim at rebalancing ties between the two sides, potential economic and trade cooperation would surely be welcomed by the business community.